A very good evening to everyone. My name is Shivangi. I'm first year student of PPT ITM, Computer Science, AI and ML branch. I would like to invite respected Dr. Manoj Darbari sir, Head of R&D Department, BBD ITM Lucknow, for the welcome address for the event. Sir, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Shivangi. Good evening, everyone. Myself, Dr. Manoj Darbari, Head of the R&D Department of BBD ITM, Lucknow. I would like to welcome you all for the inaugural session of BBD and ITM is ACM Student Chapter. It's really a matter of pride for BBD and ITM to have a chapter of such prestigious professional body, as it provides an insight about the latest in the field of computing as well as technology. And it is really a privilege for all of us to have with us the eminent speaker, Dr. Chand Shekhar, Chief Operating Officer, ACM India Council, and Dr. Prashant R. Nair, Associate Professor, Amrita Vidyapeeth University, Coimbatore. I would also like to thank Chief Convener and Director of our institute, Dr. S.S. Chauhan, Dr. Diwakar Yaksen, and Dr. Anurag Tiwari, and all the organizing committee members, as well as students, especially Diwakar Tripathi, Hitnesh Dwivedi, and his team, to organize such an event and given an opportunity for BBD and ITM to have an interaction with the ACM team members. Just to introduce about the ACM is full form is the Association of Computing Machinery, is a US-based international society for computing. It was founded way back in 1947, and it is the world's largest scientific and educational computing society. Currently, ACM is non-profit professional membership group. It doesn't have any profit motive to it. Having more than 1 lakh students and professional members, as well as it provides a skill set in the form of information technologies and as well as latest upcoming trends which are currently prevalent across the world. It is definitely a real opportunity for us as well as students of BBD and ITM to have a platform like this. I would like to again welcome our guest speakers for sparing valuable time and providing us an opportunity to have an interaction with ACM and providing a know-how about it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, respected sir, for your kind and knowledgeable words. Now, I would like to invite the first speaker of the event, Mr. Chandrasekhar Prasad sir. He is the Chief Operating Officer at ACM India Council and great president, sir. Sir, the stage is all yours.
Hi, Shekhar ji. Namaskar. No, Shekhar ji, you are not audible still. You are still on mute, I think.
Yeah. Is it audible now?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah. So, thank you for inviting and good evening to all of you. Shivangi, I actually given one slide. Can you share that?
Yes, sir.
So actually, sir has already talked in general about ACM. I will just talk more about ACM India, what we do in ACM India. Actually, as mentioned earlier, it's a very old organization established way back in 1947. And we had a lot of members from India, but we didn't have physical presence of ACM in India. So with that in mind, actually, we started this ACM India Council, they call it. So in fact, ACM has established certain councils in different areas like India, China, and Europe. So apart from USA, there are now these 3 councils. So ACM India was started in 2010, and we have a lot of activities spanning for the last 10 years, which actually I will just try to mention to you. So just trying to see how I can increase the size of the slide. Can you make it slideshow? This is
No.
slideshow. Let's make it slideshow. This is not in slideshow mode.
No, go to the slideshow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Seventh panel. Yeah. Go to slideshow. Yeah.
Sir, actually, I have started the slideshow, but I think due to network issue.
Anyway, no problem. I'll manage with you. So, as mentioned, ACM has more than 1 lakh members all over the globe. And out of that, around 11,000 are in India. And out of 11,000, we have around 5,000 to 6,000 members, student members in India. So ACM works with the different chapters. So since establishment of ACM India, we have more than 200 student chapters and 20 professional chapters. Student chapters are basically institute-based and professional chapters are city-based. Unfortunately, we don't have much presence in UP, Uttar Pradesh, that part of the country. And I remember I visited Lucknow a few years back when there was only one chapter in Lucknow. I don't remember the name of the institute, but I remember visiting AKTU that time and meeting the Pro-Vice Chancellor. And we had some plans for actually increasing the ACM activities across the state and across the city of Lucknow. But unfortunately, all these plans actually have not taken place because of the pandemic and things like that. So I'm very glad that you have taken this initiative of starting the ACM chapter. And I'm sure that with this, we'll start our growth in Lucknow as well as in Uttar Pradesh also. So apart from these chapters, we have a specific or special group, you can say, of ACMW, which actually works towards empowering women in computing. So all girls students can always look for becoming member of ACMW India and participate in that. We have many activities, especially for the girl students. So we have a programming contest, especially for girl students. Then we have a hackathon for girl students. So like that, a lot of activities are specifically targeted at girl students. Apart from the higher grade students, research students, like the grad cohort workshop and things like that. Then under research initiatives, we have this ARCS symposium, which is for research students symposium. I will talk about it in a bit. Then Best Doctoral Dissertation Award. So every year in the country, whatever doctoral dissertations are there in computer science area, so we provide the award to the best doctoral dissertation. And in fact, this year's award is just announced. Then, as you know, a lot of students actually submit their papers in international conferences, and they always find it difficult to actually go there and present a paper. So we have a travel grant scheme through which if your paper gets accepted in an international conference, then ACM can give you partial travel support to go there and present it. Unfortunately, last 2 years, since everything is virtual, nobody is able to travel. But this, I'm hoping that we will be back to normal in near future, and many of you will be able to take advantage of this scheme. Then we have PhD clinic. So the idea is that this is for typically for PhD students in computer science. So they always have the guide available to them provided by the research center or the university. But what we provide through this PhD clinic is a third eye. So like say we have listed almost 40 mentors who are available and ready to spend time with the PhD students in different institutes. And depending on your research area, you can actually have a discussion with some of the experts listed here, and they can give you some idea, some more information about your research topic and where your progress, what you are doing, and whether we are in right direction or not. So all these things can be done there. Then Anvention Setu is actually, you can say, extension of this PhD clinic. So idea is that apart from your institute where you are doing PhD, there are a lot of other institutes available where similar type of research may be going on. And it's a good idea for you to know to actually interact with some more people who are doing research in this particular area. So this is sort of an internship scheme by which you can visit typically the institutes like IITs and IISCs for a month or so, stay there with one of the mentor there and interact in the group which is working in the similar area of your research area. Then we have research conferences. So one of the things which we established after forming the ACM India is having some special interest groups. So we have a few special interest groups now. So one of them is IKDD, which is actually data science and AI area. Then ISEC is in software engineering area. And AIMS is actually is the name of the conference. So these special interest groups actually organize different conferences in that area. So CORS COMAD is a conference in database and data science area. ISEC is the conference in software engineering area. And AIMS is actually again in data science plus data science systems area. So these conferences are supported by ACM India, and in each conference we always have a student grant program. So if you apply for a student grant and if your proposal is accepted by the committee, then we provide you the travel support and accommodation support, subsidized registration fees to attend that conference. CORS COMAD is just over. ISEC, in fact, AIMS is also over. But ISEC is in February at Gandhinagar, but most probably they will go virtual. Then we have ACM India annual event. So this is basically where we actually showcase whatever is going on in India. So different award winners actually present in this particular event. So after ACM India, we have established a few awards. Like I talked to you about Doctoral Dissertation Award. So that is one of the awards. So the winner of this particular award talks in this ARCS symposium, which is the symposium for the PhD students. Similarly, we have an Early Career Researcher Award. That person also talks in this ARCS symposium. Now, co-located with the annual event, apart from the ARCS symposium, we have ACMW workshop also. So here we have an award winner of a lady, which is outstanding contribution of women in computing. So that actually woman gives a talk in ACMW workshop. And in the main event we have one of the Turing Award winner coming and talking to all of us. So I strongly appeal to you to register for ACM India annual event. All these events are free for participants. They are virtual this year. And if you can visit the website, you will know more details about it and can register and join virtually. Then in education area, we have summer and winter schools. So this is typically for undergraduate students. So we are almost every year, last 4 years, we are doing this summer and winter schools. So typically a 2-week full-time school at a particular institute and in a particular research area. So research areas have already started. 4 areas are already started. And it's always a good opportunity to actually connect with many people who are working in that area, who are doing projects in that area, and you get expert guidance in this particular school.
इनोवेशन तो कराएंगे.
Apart from the academics, we always have one industry associated with the school, so that you know actually what is happening in industry in that area. So sort of a
चला मैं इसमें पढ़ रहा हूँ.
know-how about the applied research, what can happen there. Then we have compute symposium. So this is typically conducted by a SEEC called Computer Science Education, and this typically targets the faculty members of computer science. So typically it talks about the curriculum, pedagogy, assessment, etc. And this recently actually concluded in November for the 21 edition, and 22 edition will be sometime in November 22. And this teaching partnership program is a very recent addition to our initiatives. The idea is that you have some core subjects in the curriculum, and you always have a teacher teaching that, but associating one more person, one more expert in that particular subject along with the subject teacher. So what is done is that the expert along with your subject teacher, they actually find out what are the things which expert can cover in that particular course, and work them about the assessment and the pedagogy and things like that. So we had just completed a pilot about it where some 8 experts actually conducted different courses in 5 or 6 different institutes. But this is picking up very well. We plan to do it with more colleges where people from IITs, IISc, CMI, etc. can actually will be available to you, where you can the school children. This is bringing computational thinking to schools. So this started this are actually taking advantage of this particular curriculum. So we have developed a curriculum from standard 1 to 8, and it is available in some regional languages also. I'm glad that we also had conducted different workshops in Gorakhpur in Uttar Pradesh, and many schools in Gorakhpur district are already following this particular curriculum recommended by ACM. Then for professional development, we have different initiatives, learning and professional development. You already know about Eminent Speaker Program. We in fact have today Professor Prashant Nair is one of our eminent speaker. Will be talking to you. Similarly, there is a program called Distinguished Speaker Program. So, like Eminent Speaker Program is for the speakers in India, and DSP is actually the international speakers. So, like we invited Prashant as an eminent speaker, you can always invite somebody from the any part of the world as an expert to come to your institute and take a session. So that is Distinguished Speaker Program. Currently, both these programs are happening virtually, but earlier it used to be physical mode, and I'm sure we'll be back to that mode again. And if the physical sessions happen, ACM takes care of the travel, even international travel also taken care by ACM. Then the mini graphs is sort of a, you can say, short survey or short note on a particular research area. So what we thought that in a particular area there are a lot of papers and things are available, and people just don't know where to search, what to search, and things like that. So mini graphs will give you a bulletin sort of a thing, wherein in a few pages you will know more about that particular area. So first mini graph on security is already published, and few more mini graphs are coming. Then as a member you always have access to the digital library and ACM Learning Center, and you can always take advantage of that. That to recognize people from India, we have established the awards in India. The Early Career Researcher Award, the again for
आपका नाम नोट कर
inviting me
मिनट स्पीकर में
for inaugurating this particular session. And I'm sure that very near future we'll have some physical activities possible, and I will be definitely glad to visit your institute when things are normal. So all the best and take maximum advantage of the offerings of the ACM for a chapter. And I'm sure that in few years, definitely you will be one of the most vibrant and award-winning chapter. So thank you and all the best.
Thank you, sir.
yes,
Thank you, sir, for such a wonderful session. Good evening, everybody. My name is Arushi, and I'm a first-year student of BBD ITM from Computer Science AI and ML branch. Let's proceed with the event. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Prashant R. Nair, sir. Sir is the Associate Professor, Computer Science and Engineering at Amrita Vishwa Vishwapitam, Coimbatore, and the Vice Chairman of Internal Quality Assurance Cell, IQAC, and he is also felicitated by Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, for representing India as a part of the National Hackathon team for Singapore India Hackathon. Sir, the stage is all yours.
Yeah, thank you, Arushi. Sri Chandrasekhar Sahasrabuddhe, the COO of ACM India, Professor S.S. Chauhan, Director, Dr. Manoj Darbari, the Head of R&D Department, Dr. Divakar Yagyasen, Head of Computer Science, and Dr. Anurag Tiwari, the Head of IT Department of BBDITM. A very good afternoon to all of you. At the outset, a very, very warm congratulations for setting up this ACM student branch. I'm very happy to know that this is a beginning in Uttar Pradesh, and under the guidance of Sri Shekhar of ACM India and the other office bearers, we hope that we can expand the movement of ACM all over India. Actually, there is a huge vacuum that has come with the fading away of the Computer Society of India due to various issues. There is such a huge vacuum where there is professional activity needed all over India, and we are looking at the numbers. We have perhaps 200 student chapters, but the number could be as high as 10,000 because that much of need is there with respect to ACM, and ACM has a lot to offer. So echoing my senior colleague Sri Shekhar, I request you to pass the word around to all your friends in other colleges, other institutions, your contact. This student-to-student contact is the most effective. You can send 100 posters and so on, but the student-to-student contact, the one-to-one interaction, through your, and of course social media, passes the word, and I'm sure it will go on. So I'm very happy to be part of your event. In fact, it's also a milestone. I don't know, Shekhar, this is almost 1 year has completed as an ACM eminent speaker, and I think almost 10 or 12 ACM student branches, we have had a lot of programs. So I'll do the usual mandate that Shekhar has asked me to talk to you about, how to crack a hackathon, how to crack competitive programming events. So most of you are computer science students. So what I will be just giving a very simple experience sharing on what you can do, how you can prepare yourself to be able to ace hackathons, and the same strategies you can employ to ace and win competitive programming events also. So let me just share the slides. Is my slide visible? Are you able to see my slides?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so as I mentioned, this is only a simple experience sharing or a knowledge sharing or a best practices sharing. There is no rocket science in this, to be very honest with you. It is just some simple tips, some simple rules of thumb that have helped us to win a lot of hackathons. And I'm sure that, there is nothing so cerebral about it. It's just simple, commonsensical things, simple things that help you to unleash your creativity, unleash your innovation, unleash your teamwork, so as to be able to crack this. And as I mentioned in my profile, I've been very lucky, but I attribute this to my students. I've been very, very fortunate to be able to mentor some of the best students in this country. That's what I thank myself. That's where I'm so proud about it. Luckily we are a very good top private university in India. We are able to attract the very good students, and they keep us going because they excite us with their innovation. They excite us with their creativity. They excite us with the need to do something for the country. And all this is because of the 6 or 7 hackathon teams that I have been able to mentor. And we have been able to win a lot of excellent hackathons, including Smart India Hackathon, which is an idea proposed by the Prime Minister of India, wherein the idea is to leverage the student innovation, the student projects, the student prototypes to solve problems faced by the industry, faced by the country, ministries of the government of India, and so on. And that has actually expanded. Today we have ASEAN India Hackathon, Singapore India Hackathon. We have, I think, New Zealand India Hackathon. There are a lot of international events also that have spawned. In 2021, because of the pandemic, there was no Smart India Hackathon, but there was another event called Toykathon, which I'm sure you might have heard about. So as you know, 99% of the toys come from a neighbor country that is not so friendly with India, rather hostile with India. And the idea is, how can you use the student innovation to make toys? When I say toys, there are digital toys, physical toys, board games, and you will be surprised with the kind of innovation that has come. And this culture of hackathons has really, expanded all over India. And today, every ministry, every company is looking towards students to build their solutions. Most of the companies are now conducting hackathons. Many ministries are conducting independent hackathons. The Ministry of Education is conducting hackathons like the Smart India Hackathon, the Rajasthan, the Toykathon, and so many things. And in fact, through all my professional work, the chance of getting a photo op with the Honorable Prime Minister was because of this Singapore India Hackathon. There were so many professional things I have been doing over the last 20 years, but never I got a chance except because of this. And I'm very thankful to my students who keep me going. Now, I want to clearly demystify the meaning of a hackathon. See, many people think hackathon is something about hacking. It is far from the truth. A hackathon has nothing to do with hacking. Hacking is an illegal activity, an unethical activity where you are stealing somebody's information, stealing somebody's passwords, stealing somebody's money. And it is totally unethical. Hackathon, on the other hand, is just simple meaning of a hackathon is building a digital product. That is the meaning of a hackathon. You are building a digital product. Sometimes the product will have a combination of hardware and software. Sometimes it may be only hardware. Sometimes it may be software alone. But at the end of the day, it is just building a digital product. And there's nothing to do with hacking, which is stealing or exposing vulnerabilities. But the catch of the hackathon is, or the most interesting aspect of the hackathon is, you are doing this digital product development. You are applying all your concepts, all your theories, all your skills in programming, in networking, your interfacing. You're applying all of this. You're applying all your knowledge, your skills, your things. You're unleashing your creativity, teamwork, innovation. You're getting your hands dirty. You're making your hands dirty working. But the catch is that this digital product development you are doing in a very finite amount of time. It's either 24 hours, 36 hours, 48 hours, 22 hours. Normally, hackathons are not beyond this. Most of the hackathons are between 24 to 48 hours. There are few which are 72 hours. It's a little grueling that way. But at the end of the day, the catch is that you are building a digital product in a very short amount of time. You're going through the entire product life cycle. You're starting with an idea. They have probably given you a very vague problem statement. They'll say smart city. What is smart city? It's just the theme. But that's a very vague problem statement. But you are now conceptualizing an idea for this problem statement, smart city. You are moving from ideation, you are moving into conceptualization, you are building a prototype, you are testing the prototype, you are executing it, testing it, and even pitching it to the stakeholders in a very short amount of time. Tell me what would be more exciting than going through the entire life cycle of a product in a very small amount of time. The training that you get is next to none, because you're doing the entire thing in such a short amount of time. You're applying all your skills, all your knowledge, all the concepts, all the technology that you learned in a very small amount of time. And that hackathon is a great learning experience. If you see, probably you will be applying every single course that you study. It may be communication skills you have studied, you're applying it. Teamwork, group discussions, all that you're using it. You're applying your technology. You may be using a programming language, C or C++ or Java, Python. You may be using networking technology. You may be using interface, Arduino boards. So anything and everything, you have such a wonderful way to apply all the concepts. Now, coming to the tips for how to win a hackathon, let me tell you, this is not rocket science. This is very simple, conceptual, commonsensical things that I would like to tell you. First thing I would say is form a good team. Now, I want to tell you what is the definition of a team. The definition of a team is a group of people doing some, trying to solve an objective with complementary skills. That is the key. Your team should not be about friendship. A team should not be about vibing. The team should be a group of people. You're solving a purpose, but again, the challenge is that you need to have complementary skills. You need to have multi-skilled kind of perspective, and that's the first thing. Now, so many hackathons are coming. You cannot participate in everything. As I mentioned, it's not about friendship. As far as my experience is concerned, if I have 3 or 4 hackathon teams, I'm very clear. You may be friends, you may be enemies. I will mix and match. I will juggle the team members based on the requirement of the hackathon. If there is a smart city hackathon which requires a machine learning person and not an IoT person, I will just drop the IoT person and bring in the machine learning. There is no hard feelings. It is all simple, common sense, simple strategy to win the hackathon. So I'm very clear. I tell my students, this is not friendship. This is how we are trying to win, how we are trying to solve a problem. And always, a team may have individual brilliance, individual talent, super performers, but ultimately it is the team that matters. I'm very clear. If there is a victory, there may be a man of the match, but we underplay the man of the match and it becomes a team effort. If there is a defeat, if there is a failure, again the same thing goes. It is victory or defeat, right? So that's what I always kind of, critically, I tell my team members that, I will mix and match the teams. I will change if required. And I am very clear, each student, what is the role that he has to play. If somebody has been selected for IoT, you do the IoT part. Don't poke your nose into the other things. So that kind of simple, strategies are very important. Certain small things help. We, it's nice if you have a very catchy team name. It helps because it adds to the curiosity. Always have a nice name. The name should be catchy and should be, contemporary, so that the judges, they feel extremely, they're inquisitive and curious about what it is. Now, as I mentioned, any victory is the victory for all. Any defeat is the defeat for all. And there is the team performance is paramount, and individual performance is normally. I'm not saying individual brilliance is not needed. It is needed, but we underplay the whole thing. In fact, this is an interesting thing. If you see the full form of the team, together everybody achieves more. That's the essence of a team. Now, coming to choosing the contest. Let me tell you, there are hundreds of contests. Earlier, that was not the case, but the last 4 or 5 years, we are seeing, once the Smart India Hackathon happened, we are seeing every society, every professional body, every company, every government ministry, everybody is now going behind hackathons. And it is absolutely impossible for you to participate in everything, because you have to attend college, you have to write your exams, you will have internal and external evaluations. You cannot spend the semester participating in hackathons and competitions. So the best thing is to choose the right contest, the correct contest. Now, how do you do that? There are multiple websites that always provide like a yellow pages of hackathons. These yellow pages are like hackerearth.com, hackerrank.com, daretocompete.com, and even hacker.net is there, if I'm not mistaken. So be on the lookout. Look at websites like hackerearth.com, hackerrank.com, daretocompete.com, which will give you a lot of information about the ongoing hackathons. Of course, now everything is online, but maybe by the middle of this year, it may go on to physical mode also. And choose the contest that matches what your skill set is. Suppose you are working on, say, IoT. Look for contests where there is a hardware component, because you can leverage your interfacing skills in Arduino boards inside that contest. So always choose a contest that matches with your skill set. That is a very important thing. See, I see some students, moving helter-skelter, moving from half the semester they are traveling, and some colleges, they don't have much strict rules, and they don't win anything because they are all over the map. So you focus on something, and typically you make a prototype. That prototype, you have the intellectual property on that prototype. You keep the prototype. You can always tweak it, improve it, change it, customize it for the next hackathon. And this is the typical the community of hackathon participants usually start building a technology in their second year or the first year itself. Some of them start, and they go on building the technology. Second year they improve. Third year they do some customization. Suppose a new hack comes, they change the concept a bit and so on and so forth. So that's the first step. Choose the right, second step rather, choose the right contest. Now, all hackathons, as I told you, are dime a dozen. Hundreds of hackathons are happening. Millions of students are participating. Usually all hackathons will ask you to submit an initial idea or an abstract. That is the general protocol, because no hackathon can have thousands of students come. Even online, it is difficult to manage thousands of teams. So what they do is they usually submissions or participation is in thousands. For more, at least in Smart India, it is lakhs. Lakhs of students are participating. Some of them it will be in the thousands, 30,000, 40,000. So they ask you to submit an abstract and an idea. They will provide a theme. They will say Smart City Hackathon, but that is very vague, right? From that theme of the smart city, You have to prepare a clear, concise, precise problem statement. And it should not be very long. It should be very crisp. It should be very understandable. It should be able to nail the judges. To give you an example, the hackathon team is smart city, and now you are building a smart transportation solution. I'm just reading the example. To provide a solution towards minimizing the frequent navigation checks using mobile during bike/car ride. It is only 15 to 20 words. This is how your problem statement should be. It should be crisp, it should be precise, it should be concise. It should be like a Twitter feed. In Twitter, you have very little characters. I think 280, if I'm not mistaken. In 280 characters, you have to mention the whole story you have to say. That kind of thing you should do when you are making a problem statement. Now, along with the problem statement, you propose a solution. Give a simple block diagram for the solution. Give the major concepts, the components and the architecture of the solution in the form of a block diagram. And it should be very simple too. Don't put too many details. Make it as simple and as possible. Next, you should give the motivation for why you chose this abstract or idea. And you should support what is the motivation for doing this problem. And you have to support that with clear statistics and infographics. And you have to cite the sources also. Now, for this problem, to provide a solution towards minimizing the frequent navigation checks using mobile during bike/car ride. So, when navigation checks are there, this many accidents are prevented. Where is the number? How many accidents are prevented? You can give a number. In the city of Lucknow, this many accidents are happening. Times of India report. Cite that. Another report is there, or a paper is there. This many accidents can be prevented if we have navigation checks. So all the sources that are there, cite them, and in a very simple manner, with an infographic, with a picture and statistics and numbers, you give the motivation for your research, for your statement, your problem statement. Why you are doing this? What is the need for this? And this should be, let me tell you, this is not writing a story. The entire, if you ask me, can you do the entire thing in one slide? No judge has time to read stories. There is no time to write stories and read stories. If you can give the entire thing in one slide, problem statement, block diagram, context diagram, major components, major technologies used, why I am going for this problem statement, motivation for the research, infographic, cite Times of India report, research journal, so and so. That's it. You send your abstract in a very crisp way, in a very understandable way. You have nailed it. Believe me, many people write stories. And nowadays, hackathons itself say, your submission should not be more than 1 slide or 2 slides. Some of them say 5 slides, 3 slides. But let me know, it is not, believe me, from my experience, I'm telling you, it is not more the merrier, less the merrier, if you ask me. I mean, I've served as a judge for both Tycothon and Smart India Hackathon. I can tell you, you see long stories and all, you get, as a judge, you get, you don't feel comfortable. So make it as short, crisp, concise possible. Have 1 slide. If you ask me, do everything in 1 slide. If required, make a 2nd slide or 3rd slide. That's all. Now you have submitted your abstract, your idea. Thousands of abstracts have come. They have now chosen the top 50 teams or the top 30 teams or the top 100 teams to come to the venue. Obviously, 2 years back, they were actually sponsoring the travel. They were asking students to come for the hackathons. They were providing excellent accommodation, and they had budgets for all these. In the last 2 years, obviously, nothing of this is happening. Everything is online. But still, at the end of the day, they do the same kind of filtering. even today. They just 1 minute. Hello. Yeah, so they do the filtering. I thought some problem in the network. Yeah, so they do a filtering of the ideas. They select the top, say 30 or top 50 or top 100 teams to come for the site, either physically or virtually. Now you are going towards the hackathon. Hackathon may be 24 hours, 36 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours. Now you have to budget for the time for the hackathon. You have to you have been selected for the final. You have been asked to come for the hackathon. You are going to participate in the hackathon may be 24 hours, 36 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours. You have to budget every second of that 24, 36, 48 or 72 hours. Please understand, you cannot do everything over there. Do your homework, whatever you can do ahead of schedule. Do the pre-coding, the pre-processing, things you can do at home. You can do your homework. Nobody is going to stop you from doing that. Now, if the hackathon is 36 hours or 48 hours, please participate in all the milestones of the hackathon. There are some students who will not attend the inaugural ceremony. They'll sit in the room and start working. These things don't help. Believe me, they don't help. You are actually participating in a national or an international event. The part of the process is attending, mixing with people, attending the socials, attending the inauguration. It is very rude that they have spent so much money on you, inviting you, spending on your travel, spending on your accommodation, board and lodging, and then you don't attend the inaugural. They call some VIP and they cut a sorry figure. Please don't do these things. When you are there for a hackathon, participate in all the socials, all the milestones of the hackathon. Do not budget. If your hackathon is 36 hours, don't plan that you are going to work for 36 hours. It's not going to happen. Obviously, you need to eat and sleep. That's also there. Right? So what you should do is budget the time. Look at the schedule of the hackathon. Okay, inaugural ceremony, gone, 2 hours. So when you minus all that, you'll get this much time. Don't use that full time. You minus all the social, the functions, the sleep, the eating and all that. Maybe for a 36-hour hackathon, you may be actually doing work for say 20 hours. Do not plan 20 or maybe 24 hours. Do not plan for 24 hours. You plan for say 12 hours. The remaining 12 hours work only you will do there. And then in between, the judges will come. When the judges are coming, they will give you suggestions. The judges are usually coming informally and formally. During a hackathon, there will be timing, judging time. Maybe every 4 hours, every 6 hours, every 8 hours, it depends. But these judges come formally to your table, they come formally to your desk and give you suggestions, look at your prototype, look at the things that you are doing, you are interacting with them, but they also do this informally. They may be watching in the camera, they may be walking around. So throughout the hackathon, they are actually judging you. If you understand what I'm trying to say. So that is what I'm trying to say. Clearly understand what you are going to build in the hack duration. 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours. You minus all the social events and the common things, the food and all those things you minus. Then target how much time you can do what in that balanced time. Take one step at a time. Give each person a role. Do not interfere in each other's thing. Otherwise it will become a mess. Right? And whenever the judges are coming to your place, be very honest about what you are trying to say. Take their suggestions. Sometimes they may give suggestions that you cannot do. That's fine. You tell them. So this is a very good suggestion, but honestly, we cannot do it in the next 2 days, but I will implement this in the future. And whatever good suggestions, see, they are all very good professionals. They may be giving you very good suggestions, and they may give you the suggestions that may help you to win the prize also. So if the judge is coming in the first, say the first day after 6 hours, he is coming. He gives you a suggestion. When he comes the second time, you say, sir, you gave a suggestion then, and I was trying to implement this. I have completed 30%. By night, I will complete. The judge will be extremely happy. And be very honest about what is there. Have all the data with you. check, test. If you are making a small PPT, do check it again and again whether it works. If you are doing a mini demo, check whether those things are working. Check the hardware, software, internet, and check the interfacing when you are presenting to the judges. But please understand, judging happens round the clock. It's not that they come at, even in the Smart India Hackathon, if some of you have participated, you will see a schedule. Every 6 hours or 8 hours they come, but they are always there. They come around when informally, and they come and look at you. And generally they look at these criteria: novelty, completeness, completion, usefulness, how the product can be converted from a prototype to a product and a startup, how you gel as a team, how you are able to present properly, and how it is relevant to the hackathon theme, whether there is a business interest or a societal context. Now, here I want to tell you one very important thing. Like, when a company is conducting a hackathon, they are very clear that there is a business interest. If a student is developing a specific module that adds value to the company's product, you may have done a better product. You may have done a better thing. But if it does not match with the company's portfolio, you may not win the prize. I have seen this happening also. Sometimes you will find out the other team has developed a very simple thing. I mean, it doesn't, बहुत छोटा मोटा काम किया है, लेकिन हमने बहुत काम किया है, ये बहुत अच्छा सॉफ्टवेयर है और बहुत अच्छा प्रोडक्ट है, लेकिन प्राइस नहीं मिला. Why? Because of the fact that that small module that fellow has made is a direct fit into the company's business interest. Using that module, the company will make money. So that kind of things are part of life. You have to accept it. But most hackathons generally are very partial towards themes and problem statements with a societal context. Obviously, now COVID is still there. Even after 2 years, COVID has not gone. Things that help, for COVID, addressing COVID definitely helps. So there is a societal context also. So this is what happens throughout the hackathon. Now, hackathon may be 48 hours. After say 40 hours, what they will do is the judges will shortlist maybe there are 100 teams. Out of the 100, they may shortlist 10. If there are 50 teams, they may shortlist say 7 or 10. There are 30 teams, they may shortlist 5 or 6. And they go to what is known as the final round, and it is also called power judging round. Now, what happens in the power judging? The power judging is a little different beast. Hitherto, during the first 40 hours or 48 hours of the hackathon, you are focusing mainly on the technical aspects, your hardware, your software, your interfacing, whether your product works, whether it doesn't work, and so on. And but here now the situation is different. Now it is power judging. Power judging also looks at a holistic picture, whether this product whether this prototype can be converted into a product, whether it can go to from prototype to product to startup. This is things that usually in the power judging, they look at these aspects also. So this is only a suggestion. I mean, this is just a suggestion. When you have a power judging, it may not be more than 7 minutes. Some of them are 5 minutes, 6 minutes and all. And in that 7 minutes, you have to present, you have to make it as attractive as possible. Do not have cluttered presentations. Make it very, very crisp presentation with full of pictures, infographics. If you have a video demo, nothing like it. And all of you need not present. That is highly boring. Okay, one fellow will talk for 2 minutes. Now he will talk. Don't do this. One person can present, but the questions can be answered by the other. Please understand, it is a pitch. It is not a presentation. You are trying to pitch your product to them. You are trying to make that fellow buy your product to give you the price. Don't do. You don't have to go for democracy. Here, one person who presents well can do. But when there is a questions, the others can answer. And this is a suggestion. Okay, this is just a experiential thing. First 2 minutes, you can talk about the introduction, motivation, and the need for the product in a very crisp fashion.
टीचर हैं अपने
Next 2 minutes, you can say that this is the architecture, these are the technologies, these are the software, hardware interfacing that I have done. 2 minutes, you show the demo. If you have screen capture and all, put it as a video. Give a summary for 1 minute. Here you can say of your plans to make this into a startup. You have an idea. The idea has been converted into a prototype during the hackathon. Now this prototype will be developed into a product, and this product will be converted into a startup. This thing you have to try to stress during the end of your presentation, during the summary, and this is what power judging expects. And definitely the 3 minutes of presentation, they will not ask you any technical questions. They will generally only ask you questions. They may ask questions on business plan. What is your plan? Do you have a timeline for your startup? Are you planning to make this into a thing? Do you have a time? These are the things that are and as I mentioned, one person only needs to present. All of them need not present. That person can should be very crisp. You can add some humor, have some good communication skills, some humor, sharp presence of mind. And one more thing is, be honest. Don't say that I have done that, I have done this. They are very smart. If they ask you a question which you do not know and your teammates also do not know, say, I do not know. Be honest about it. I don't know. I will find out and I'll help you. If somebody gives a suggestion, oh, your product is cannot be used in the market unless you have this component. Unless you add this module, this will not go to the market. So thank you very much for your suggestion. Next time, we will definitely improve your product with your suggestion. This is what you have to answer. And at the end, thank all the organizers, wish all the teams best. And these are simple things, but this is how you win a hackathon. These are simple steps. Now, in terms of competitive programming, same strategy. Only thing, you focus your competitive programming, you focus more on software, and in the software things, the same strategies continue, but you do not use you have the same strategies, but instead of that you go for what is known as, you need to have a foundation of data structures, combinatorics, machine learning, IoT. These are the things that you need to have as a background. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much. I will be very happy to answer any number of questions if you have. All the best to the ACM student branch of BBD ITM. I hope, as Shekhar, my senior colleague Shekhar said, you become one of the best ACM student chapters in India. Over to you, Divakar. Thank you so much. I can answer any number of questions.
Thank you, sir, for such a wonderful session. Now to our audience, does anybody have any questions or queries? You can just unmute yourself and ask.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Please go. Introduce yourself and tell me.
Good evening, sir. I am the active volunteer at BBD ITM ACM student chapter. Sir, I have a question that how can we get the funding from the events by ACM?
Oh, it's Shekhar on the call. So everything is there in india.acm.org. All the information comes in india.acm.org. All the functions, the events about this thing, and also the student chapter, the faculty coordinator will get the information also by email. So if ACM Compute is happening or ACM COMAD conference is happening, it will come by email to the faculty coordinator also. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you once again, sir, for such a wonderful session. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Anurag Tiwari, sir, HOD of Information Technology, BBD ITM Lucknow.
There is a question.
Yeah, please.
Sir, there is a question. How can we build up our career by ACM?
How? See, that's a very open-ended question, Abhishek Maurya. Okay. See, you have to understand that a professional society, there is some noise coming. Yeah, you have you have to understand that a professional society is something that you have to leverage. You have taken up a membership of a professional society. Now you have paid some money. Obviously, you are participating in the activities which are available to you free of cost for the free of cost. These things are being available to you also. We know that. Now how to do is that, there are so many opportunities that are provided by ACM. You participate in the ACM, the project contest, or the ACM hackathon, or there are so many such events. There are conferences of ACM like ACM Compute. You write a paper, that paper will be published in the digital library of ACM, ACM DL. So these are the only ways. So the idea is there is a professional society available. You have to leverage it for your benefit. Now it's like a menu card. You go to a hotel, you can't eat everything, right? You can't eat everything in the menu card. You have to choose. Okay, I will have this as a starter. I will have this as a main course. I will have this as a dessert. Same way you have to use ACM or any professional society. Any professional society you have to use in that way, right? So there are so many options, but try and you can't take up all the options, right? You try and help in that way. To see my own experience, right? I am supporting ACM in as an eminent speaker. Of course, I'm helping student branches. That's my passion. Student engagement, student innovation, and so on is my passion. I'm trying to help ACM. I'm also involved in the ACM Coimbatore chapter. I continue as the treasurer of that. I'm also contributing in that way. But if you ask me, ACM computer science, my teaching has reduced a lot. If you ask me that whether I can contribute in that computational thinking, I cannot, because computational thinking in our university is a first year course. I have never taken that course in the last 6 years. So I cannot be part of the ACM CS Pathshala. I think Shekhar told you about CS Pathshala. CS Pathshala came to us, but I asked my faculty members who are working in computational thinking to make use of the CS Pathshala. I am not involved in it because I don't know much about computational thinking. If I explain what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah. So I just want to tell you one more thing. I have put my email ID in the chat box. Prashant@amrita.edu, prashant@amrita.edu. You can also search for my name, prashant space R space NAIR on Facebook and YouTube. You can follow. I have a new channel. I just started it a few months back. All my presentations are there in that channel also. So if you want, you can make use of that also. Any more questions? I'll be happy to answer.
Thank you, sir, for such a wonderful session once again. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Anurag Tiwari, sir, HOD of Information Technology, BBD ITM Lucknow, for the vote of thanks.
Good evening. Myself, Dr. Anurag Tiwari, Head IT Department of BBD ITM Lucknow. Would like to thanks Dr. Chandrasekhar sir Chief Operating Officer, ACMA Council, Dr. Prasant Nayar, Associate Professor, Amrita Vishwapitham University, for enriching about ACM and its spread in India. Dr. Chandrasekharan highlighted about how Institute and ACM can in unison with each other to explore the possibility in the field of computing and research. He has also very well highlighted about the role of ACM, that is ACMW, ACM for women, how women can work in collaboration with the ACM. And I'm very thankful to Dr. Prasant R. Nair sir to showcase about how to form a team for hackathon and how to generate idea by exploiting the multiple talented and complementary skill. It will certainly motivate our students for participating in various competitions organized by the ACMs and other professional bodies, especially the hackathon. Lastly, I would be missing my duty if I would not be thankful to Dr. Director of our institute, Dr. S.S. Chauhan sir, Dr. Divakar Agresan sir, Head CSE, Dr. Manoj Darwari sir, Head Research and Development, and all the organizing committee member as well as the students, especially Divakar Tripathi, Hetans Divedi, and his wonderful team. And we have certainly enriched our by today knowledgeable session. Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you, sir, for the vote of thanks. Now I would like to invite Mr. Divakar Tripathi, Chair at BBD ITM ACM Student Chapter, for the closing ceremony of this wonderful session.
Thank you, respected HOD sir. A vote of thanks. I, Divakar Tripathi, Chair of BBD ITM ACM Student Chapter, is here to closing ceremony. On the behalf of all BBD ITM ACM Student Chapter, want to thank you all for your presence and declare the session officially closed. Everyone, please fill the feedback form available in the chat box. It's important to fill the feedback form for certificate. Thank you, Prasant sir.
Thank you. Good night. Stay safe. Bye-bye. Bye, Divakar. Thank you, Divakar.
Okay, thank you.
ये जो है सब जुड़ा लेता है पूरी
चांस क्लोज करो मीटिंग
लड़के बड़ी मेहनत करते हैं ये वाले
मीटिंग